Hey everyone, and welcome to the Synapsewerx engineering channel. Today we have a very special demo session from our integration and agentic AI team. So look, over the last 12 months, the team here at Synapsewerx has been focused on designing, building, and implementing agentic workflows. And along the way, we've seen a number of challenges, especially with the more common LLMs. Typical issues revolve around accuracy of results, consistency in results, performance, solution experimentation time, as well as the cost of fine-tuning these models. Now, what the team has for you today blows much of this away as they demonstrate for you how MCP works by leveraging existing APIs and using them as tools to interact with your proprietary data. Over the last 10 years or so, we've all been very busy building APIs in our organizations, connecting our enterprise applications and getting access to our core business data. Now, with the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, we have the ability to unlock our enterprise data via these very same APIs and enable our Gen AI agents to use these APIs as a tool to query our data. Now, MCP was only made open source by Anthropic back in November last year, but it's already being adopted by software vendors as the de facto protocol for LLMs to interact with APIs to get access to our data sources. It's clear to us here at Synapsewerx that MCP is fast becoming one of the new standards for LLM connectivity, and for good reason too. With MCP, we can standardize secure connectivity to our data sources, avoiding custom data source connectivity, simplifying agentic solutions, and reducing the time to market. Anyway, I don't want to steal any more thunder from the team today. Carlos, over to you and Sreeraj to drive the demo. I can't wait to see what you've cooked up for us today.
Thank you, Malcolm. Thanks for that introduction. And you are right. In the last, 12 months at least, we have been quite obsessed implementing a lot of agentic workflows. And as you mentioned, one of the big challenges in doing all of this has been the reliability and the consistency of the results. We know LLMs can do so much, but there is also a lot of things that they cannot do. So we cannot really keep betting everything and putting all our bets on that the LLMs will always do the right thing, or trying always to fine-tune the LLMs. That is costly and that is very, very inaccurate in a way. A better solution would be to leverage all of that investment in APIs that have existed in the last, organizations have done in the past 5, 10, 15 years, and be able to use those APIs as skills provided to those AI agents. And don't get me wrong, like that is exactly what we have been doing at Synapsewerx, but it was fiddly. It was changing every time there was a new upgrade in an LLM that we have to change, then the prompt had to change as well. And when all of these things happen, then at the end of the day, then it becomes very, very, very costly and hard to maintain, right? MCP came to change a lot of things, and again, it is evolving so rapidly. But you could see in the world, like from day one, a lot of big organizations started adopting MCP, and there is a reason for that. It creates that very cohesive layer that allows the traditional world of APIs to communicate with the new emerging world of agentic AI. And it does that in a way that it is standardized. It does it in a way that you don't have to keep fiddling and creating code that has to be unmaintainable at some point in time. You just basically use that contextual a value on what each of those APIs do, which, by the way, they should always be part of the API contracts. And with that information, you can always just instruct your AI agents to have the right tools and the right skills to be used whenever necessary. And that is exactly what we are going to demonstrate today. Sreeraj did an amazing demonstration, something very relatable. And without further ado, over to you, Sreeraj.
Thanks, Carlos. We'll start with the high-level overview of what we've implemented for today's demo. So as you can see here, we have an AI agent which uses an LLM to interpret the natural language of the user interacting with the agent. Basically, it understands what the user is asking for and responds back with the right answers. So we have implemented a traditional chatbot for a real estate agency where customers like buyers asking questions about properties and asking specific questions on the list of available properties, price of a property, asking questions about documents of a specific property and things like that. Now with MCP coming into picture, it becomes more easier for agents to use tools and APIs that are already available as part of their backend landscape. In previous agents, plugging in APIs and backend tools were pretty hard because the agents doesn't know how to use APIs, so there was a lot of coding and instructions involved. But now MCP makes things more easier because it became a plug and play kind of a thing. It's more like a USB device where we can plug in and start using immediately. Now with MuleSoft also releasing an MCP connector, all the existing MuleSoft APIs can be easily exposed as an MCP server that can be used within our agentic workflow. So for this demo, it's a simple one. We have used a real estate database to simulate the data in having all the property informations and things like images and all the property related stuffs. And we have a MuleSoft API that interacts with Salesforce for creating inquiries in the Salesforce CRM. So this API is exposed as a MuleSoft is exposed as an MCP server using the MCP connector. Going to MuleSoft. So here you can see it's a typical MuleSoft flow that uses a Salesforce connector to create an object in Salesforce, and the MuleSoft MCP connector is again a component that was launched by MuleSoft, and it's just configuration where we define an HTTP path, and that's it. Now the API is available to be consumed as an MCP server in the client. So all we need to mention is a description, basically what the tool does, and a schema on what the tool is expecting the agent to send. So that's all we need. Agent is smart enough to understand which tool to use based on the descriptions we are providing here. If it's a different description, say for example, it is for getting documents from a content repository, the description says so, then the agent understand that is the tool that it has to use to retrieve a document, as opposed to using this tool for raising an inquiry. So that's how MCP works. For the creation of agent, I'm using DataStax Langflow, which is again a tool which is similar to MuleSoft. It is a drag and drop UI based designer which lets us create powerful agents without writing a single line of code. It has all the components that we need, which we drag and drop, configure, and that's it. We can have our agent ready in matter of minutes. So here you see I have an agent which has real estate database. It's not really a database. It's again JSON response coming from a website with all the information about the properties that is available for sale. And here you can see I have an MCP server connected to the agent, which is in fact my local MuleSoft runtime. So I've not configured anything else. It is just the URL of the MCP server. The tool will automatically grab all the available operations that is being exposed in the MCP server, and the agent will understand when to use which tool. And for the purpose of this demo, I've created this agent as a chatbot so that we can see how users can interact and how the agent performs all the operations. And I've added a chat memory as well to the agent so that the agent is well aware of the context and all the previous history of communication between the user and the agent. That's it. Now let's see the demo. So for the demo, I've created a mock real estate website, typical landing page of a real estate agency. So here you can see there's a chat. Now let's say hello. So it responded back saying, hello, how can I assist you with your real estate needs? Now I'll ask how many properties are available for sale in 3024. I've like specified a specific postcode so that the agent will get all the information, filter it out and tell me the list of properties. So it has responded back saying there are 10 properties currently available for sale. Now I'll again ask one more specific question like can you give me a list of properties under 700k. Now, out of this 10 properties, what the agent will do is it will again take the list, it will filter out all the properties that are above that range, and it will give me only the list that is under 700k. So now it has given me a list of different
Siraj,
properties.
I'm just wondering, is it
Mhm.
possible that you can swap into the Langflow and show us how the agent got this information? Like,
Yeah.
obviously we are in a
So
debugging mode,
Langflow
but
also allows us to see all these interactions in the playground, what is happening in the background. So if you see, this is the session that being used by the website, the latest session. So if you go here, this is the operation that was performed by the agent. So if you extend that, here you can see it has done an API request to the real estate website, and it has got all the information in a JSON. So if you see here, this JSON is really big. It has all the information that is coming out of the website. But what the agent has done is it has filtered out exactly what the user has asked for. Like the user has asked list of properties under 700k. Now it has responded back with only the property address and the price range, but not anything else. Because this is too much information from the backend to display it to the user. Again, if I go back, I can now ask for a specific question on one of the property, because if I am interested in this one, say for example 11 Lanswood Road, I'll ask, can you give me more details on 11 Lanswood Road? Now the agent will go and fetch a bit more information on this particular property, like the price range, type of house, bedrooms, bathrooms, land area, and the description with a photo. Now I'm now more keen to get some more photos of this property. Can you send me get me more photos of this property?
and obviously because you are attaching memory into the prompt and into the whole equation, then obviously it will remember what property you
Exactly.
meant.
So now, because I was asking previously questions related to 11 Landswood, now this one I have not mentioned anything. I've just asked more photos of this property. The agent knows exactly which property I'm asking about, and it has retrieved all the photos of this particular property. Now I'm asking, is there an open inspection time available? I'll again go back and see. Does not specify any open inspection time. It's asking me whether I would like to raise an inquiry with the agent. Yes. So I'll just say yes. It's asking for my phone name, phone number, and the message. So I'll just give Sreeraj. I'll just select the number. I would like to.
Hopefully that is not your real mobile, Siraj.
It's not. I would like to inspect. I would like to have a private inspection for this property. So even now you can see I've not mentioned what my name is or my phone number is. I've just typed it's just like that, Sreeraj number and the message. The agent is smart enough to extract the information out of this and also post it. If you go back to Salesforce now, you can see there is an ID created here in MuleSoft. Now the agent has used the tool of raising an inquiry, and the MuleSoft has done the job of creating it in Salesforce. If you go back here in Salesforce, and if I open this particular inquiry, so here you can see my phone number, my name. Sreeraj would like to have a private inspection for the property at 11 Lanswood Road, Manor Lakes. Now it has smartly converted all the information into a recognizable text for the agent. Like this is the name, and Sreeraj would like to have a private inspection.
And I think this is very powerful, Siraj, because what basically you just demonstrated right now is using an LLM to reason about what the intention of an end user is, and then converting that into an instruction that then is going to be taken care by an actual API. So with this, we are not leaving room for interpretation. We are not leaving room or having to figure it out how to apply security on a communication to Salesforce or nothing like that. Literally, an API that has been created in the past that integrates into Salesforce, in this case, to create task objects, has been reused for the purpose of this new agentic AI demo.
Exactly,
Very
Carlos.
cool.
And with MCP coming into picture, I think the limit is endless now. We can do anything with agents. We can reuse almost all of our APIs and tune our agents to act smart without any human intervention. Like if you want to, there are particular use cases where in this real estate itself, there are people who ask for documents and things like that, and an agent has to go through the email and respond back with all these details. But with session ID and of users already in picture, like the agent can easily understand who it is talking with, and also attach it with the property, and also send the documents and things like that, automatically retrieving them from the backend without any intervention from the real estate agent. And it's not just real estate. This can be used in any industry. Like for example, automobile, where I need to service my car, I can literally authenticate myself with my phone number, and the agent understands who it is talking with, and like it also knows my car details and things like that. It can recommend me service schedules and things like that.
Yeah. So at this point in time, like for example, if you notice another property and you just ask
Oh
another
yeah,
property, I suppose
sure.
it will just switch and it will understand now that you
I'll
are
just
inquiring
ask
something else.
quickly, can you send me the section 32 and contract of sale for 56?
This is another property.
This is another property. Now, I've not mentioned anything. Just it's asking me to provide the name and phone number, any other specific message. I just mentioned use the same details provided earlier. So it has again lodged a new inquiry. If I go to the MuleSoft and get the ID and open it in Salesforce.
And by the way, I'm also quite impressed with the speed in which it is returning back. Clearly, you can see different techniques here using memory, short-term memory, using APIs, using the
Correct.
MCP server to connect everything.
Correct. Now I've asked another question in the inquiry about another property. Now the agent has used all the information what is already available, which is my name and phone number. And now the message is Sriraj would like to receive the section 30 and contract of sale for 56 Elton Parade Manor Lakes. It has now switched to a different property and not using 11 Landswood anymore. So yeah. So to answer your question, yes, the agent is smart enough to know what I'm talking about, and it smartly switches across different context based on the user question.
That is super cool. Like we were talking about. I don't know if whoever is watching is also a big fan of Matrix, like I am. Obviously, I'm a big geek, and those movies to me are very important. But there is a moment where Trinity is about to fly a helicopter, and Neo asks her like, "Oh, do you know how to pilot that helicopter?" And she's like, "Not yet." And then she's asking the operator like, "Can you upload this model?" Blah 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 blah. And she's like, Okay, now I know how to pilot that helicopter. What just happened in that scene in the movie, it is exactly what we are seeing here. Like literally, just imagine if this organization suddenly has SAP as the backend ERP, and suddenly we are providing that ability that whoever is logged in, maybe we identify that it is not an end user, it is not someone random asking inquiries about the street. Maybe it's an employee, and maybe they want to know information about the ERP, and because we know who that person is, we can very quickly to the same agentic workflow, we can instruct, we can add now capabilities for them to understand how to interact with SAP. And why we can do that so rapidly is because, there is potentially already a lot of investment having built integrations and APIs that go into SAP or go into Oracle or go into whatever backend systems. And those APIs will ultimately provide that almost in real time, that ability for these agents to know new skills. And I find that extremely fascinating.
Yeah. So if you can see here in the Langflow backend, you can see the Langflow agent has used the MCP tool here, and it has properly created the JSON message used for the MCP tool here. User ID is my mobile number, and the message is the text, and we've got back a response from MuleSoft saying that message is posted successfully.
Pretty cool. And Siraj, one question that we get asked very often by our customers is, when we are talking about agentic, does it always have to be a chatbot at the front? Does it always have to be driven by a human asking questions?
Not necessarily. There is always a misconception that agents are always chatbots interacting with people. It need not be. It can be an autonomous agent without any human interaction at all. It can run on its own. Like in this use case, if a property is listed on Salesforce, the agent can automatically get a trigger and make use of Salesforce tools to get information about contacts who are looking for a property in that range, in that area, and automatically send notifications to the prospects. So all this can be done. It need not be MuleSoft. Like for example, if I switch my workspace, I've also done another flow with WhatsApp. So here the agent uses webhooks where WhatsApp messages can be used as a trigger to come into the agent, and the response can also be sent back to the WhatsApp using Python, or again, if WhatsApp API is implemented in MuleSoft, it need not be Python as well. It can be again a tool in MCP which the agent can use to send back the response. So yes, it need not be a chatbot. It can be any medium, and also it need not have a user interface. It can act on its own based on data available.
And you just reminded me a very common use case that is being brought by our customers quite often. They want to be able to track a behavior of potential customers, and they want to know, this person has been looking at this house or has been looking at houses within this range in these suburbs. And again, this is this person looking at the houses again and again and again and again. We have the ability with these agentic workflows to capture that information and almost like literally blend with something that would give us the probability that it is a high probability of a buyer, of a potential buyer. And
Correct.
we could potentially, recommend this to the real estate agents to contact these people because they could potentially be hot buyers, right?
Correct. So as you see, all these interactions are session based. So each user interaction is session based, and all the interactions are recorded. So if you can store this in a data lake or somewhere, another agent can act on it and create a probability score of maybe how probable is the person going to buy a property, or what is the chance of this lead becoming an opportunity. All this can be again done. Now it's a random number, but it need not be a random number. If a person is identified based on a mobile number, typically that should be the use case for real estate. All the contacts will have a mobile number as their primary key. Then the session becomes a mobile number. Then all this chat history can be again used for further analytics and intelligent analytics based on AI. And then it can recommend the real estate agents or whoever wants to get more information based on the chat history of the person.
Well, I can just imagine that a real estate agent person, a human, is working, and suddenly they receive an SMS like, "Oh, call this person straight away. This is the mobile.
Yeah.
This is the history of interactions that this person has been having. This person wants houses in this range, these characteristics, and please call him straight away."
Yeah. At the end of every day, like based on the interactions and chat history, they can produce a report on cold, warm, and hot potential bias based on the interactions for the day, and then the agent can also produce a report and send it to the person to act upon.
That is super cool. As you said, Siraj, the sky is the limit. I feel personally extremely excited about this capability because to me it means that we can combine this traditional world of APIs and the huge investment that organizations have made implementing those integration, those APIs with the new emerging world of agentic AI, and we can combine the two in a way, in a very seamless way that will, scale the innovation and ability for organizations to provide better products and services at lower costs, and the end user ultimately will be the one who wins. And as a technologist, all of this is possible right now. That's what we do at Synapsewerx, and this is super exciting.
And one more thing, one important thing, Carlos, and these are not technology specific. We can create agents in Langflow or any other tool. Even MuleSoft is capable now of creating agents. But just to showcase that two different technologies can talk to each other using MCP, our choice was Langflow for agentic orchestration and MuleSoft for API. But it need not be the case in the real world. It can be any technology of the choice of customer.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, MCP is becoming the new USB-C, and it's just a plug and play from now on. Super exciting to see this, Siraj. Thank you very much for sharing this insightful demo, relatable, and as you said, it applies to almost every organization, every industry. The sky is the limit. It can be for internal use cases, for external use cases, for cases in particular where humans are terrible at doing certain tasks. And I can tell you, we humans are terrible at understanding probability. So we are terrible at understanding when someone is a hot buyer. There are some people with that skills, and they are great sales guys, but not everybody is a great salesperson, right? But also the other thing where humans are terrible at is at crunching a lot of unstructured data. Structured and unstructured data all at once, it is very hard, and it takes us a lot of time, manual work and time and effort, huge investment by organizations to let humans come up with the right decision. And this can be done in seconds now. I think it is extremely valuable. I am very excited about what this represents for us. And we at Synapsewerx, we just want to keep bringing these solutions to more organizations. And with that, Malcolm, over to you.
Hey, look, guys, absolutely amazing demo. Thanks, Sreeraj. I know you put quite a bit of effort into building that out. I know MCP is, at the moment, it's just one of those amazingly hot topics. I think everyone's really excited about it. I hear the concept of MCP being the USB. I hear the differences between APIs. I've heard some people say, well, maybe we won't need APIs in the future. There's a scary thought. But I think what it's really doing, what it's really demonstrating is how you can quickly and easily build out new capability, new functionality, really embedding an AI agent. Yeah, we've used a chatbot because it's easy to demonstrate. It doesn't have to be a chatbot. It could be any type of agent. But how we can really embed that within existing infrastructure, within existing solutions. We've chosen specifically Salesforce and MuleSoft today because there are thousands and thousands, if not millions, of implementations across the entire planet that heavily use Salesforce and MuleSoft. Doesn't have to be MuleSoft and Salesforce. It could be, I don't know, it could be ServiceNow and Boomi. But the reality is it gives access to data that's there right here, right now, and does that in a seamless way. Really opening up that data and allowing data to flow quite freely. I was particularly impressed with the performance because I've seen some other implementations and platforms that haven't performed quite so well recently, but that was pretty phenomenal. So guys, look, thank you very much. Great also to see DataStax in the mix. Langflow is an interesting tool. Quite like the concept of low code, no code AI, and the results were phenomenal. Yes, real estate solution, really very relevant, and I think quite useful. Sreeraj, that I believe your wife works in that industry, so it's a good use case to focus in on. But it doesn't have to be real estate. This could be the motor industry. This could be, I don't know, a website of a major car manufacturer like, I don't know, Toyota or Ford, for example. It could be BYD. But look, the way you interact and the way we collect additional data and keep track of all of that context of that conversation, I think that's more gold. We know data is kind of key and kind of king, and being able to interact with the data and get really good positive results and accurate results, but at the same time building out additional data for additional insights that, as you guys pointed out, you could build additional AI agents around doing sentiment analysis, helping guide the orchestrator agents. So there's so many possibilities, so very exciting. Look, again, Sreeraj, thank you. Carlos, I know you're across this too and heavily invested, and I know we've got other demos coming out which kind of run in parallel to this. But guys, thank you so much for showcasing that to everybody today. Look, I do hope that everyone that is still watching has got some value out of the chat and the demo from Sreeraj today. If you want to know more about Sreeraj, Carlos, the presenters, the solutions that they've demonstrated, or you just want to learn more about the technology and the capabilities of MCP, then please do check out the description below where you'll find all the links that you need. Before we finish the session, I'd just like to thank you for spending this time with us today. If you've liked what you have seen, then please do us all a good favor, hit like and subscribe again below. And if you've got any questions for anyone in the chat today, then just drop your questions and views in the comments below. Thanks again. And until next time, keep having fun with meaningful technology. Thank you.
Thank you.